Hi all. Hal here with more Space Engineers, and we need to reposition the mic. Oh, we have been letting things run in-game for a while, and I had some ideas that I wanted to play around with today. But first, we have to get started. So let's go. Alright, well, happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend, and the Monday has started out well for you. So I wanted to walk you through some of the things that have been going on and some changes. We did make a few changes to the shuttle. One of the things we did is, like I said, we've been letting everything run. Basically, I walk away for a couple of hours, come back, and, so now most of the thrusters are done. We have both of our retro thrusters. We have all of our ventral, or I should say dorsal, rather, and lateral thrust systems are now online. We went ahead and made a small change to the side nacelles here, these little side pods with the jump drives in them. We took the half slopes out, and we did the second portion, the smaller portion of the two-part ramp, to finish that off, just to give it more of a finished look, basically closing it in. And then where we had the reactors, where you had the indicators here on the side, we went ahead and put windows in, just again to give us a little bit more protection against, hostiles or miscellaneous things attacking. And what we're going to do today is, I had an idea, and I've started working on this. We took out the little half ramps that were in here, because I want to build a docking ring, or a docking assembly for the right now for the shuttle, but it would be for any of the small ships that we might be taking with us into orbit. And so what I want to do is, we're going to go ahead and take this out. I'm going to take this out. And like I said, I did do a little bit of prep work. We went ahead and took the half ramps out here. And what we're going to do is, we're going to do walkways. Now, I'd been talking about this on, I think on the last video, in the comment section. I was talking to a couple of people about this. Let's go ahead and get you out of there, because we're going to need a couple of things pretty much straightforward here. Actually, let's do it this way. We'll get rid of that one. We'll get you, and I'm going to need both of these at some point, I think. Alright. So let me bring back up our UI so we can see what we're doing here. And so basically what I was thinking of is, I want to do... Hi, are you... Ah, that would be because I got the wrong one selected. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, so what we're going to do is, we're going to build a small scaffolding piece out here. I thought it'd be kind of nice to have. I did go ahead and, like I said, with part of the prep work, this used to be a two-part ramp here that came down, and there was a half block. We switched this out for those, and we're going to put you there, put one in the middle. Now, I do have parts for most of this, I think. And then we're going to switch this back to there. There we go. We want you there. And let's swap you around. And what we're going to do is, basically, we're going to build this out so that we have... went the wrong way with it. So that we have all of this set up for docking purposes. And I want you there. Now, the ship, this particular one, is probably the largest of the ships we would have going with us. And it's about as wide as 3 of the large grids. So what we're going to do is set this up, kind of like this, where we have it doing this kind of such. Actually, I do want to take that out for a second because we want the walkway with, let's see here. It'd be nice if there was a way to grab all of this stuff and not have it be quite so annoying. Like if you could grab exactly the blocks that you wanted. Okay, so you are set up correctly. We want you to be the other block, which is that way. And we're going to grab this guy. And then so what will happen is we'll be able to land that with the landing gear here in the middle portion. And it should have enough clearance on either side that we'll be able to get in and out of here without having too much problem. And this allows us to have a little bit of texture in here, so you know you can still see what's going on underneath. You know, it keeps it interesting to look at. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of this. Let's go ahead and grab walkway. It would be I would really like to have all of these options exploded out down here, but is what it is. And we want just a regular sideways piece, which is going to let us close that there. And we'll do that. Do the same on this side. And that should give us a nice simple walkway here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some of the stuff off screen. Yeah, that should work. And I'm hoping that this is going to work the way I want it to work. What is our... Okay, so let's go ahead and drift ourselves over a little bit. Bring our camera in. And make sure we have enough clearance. Bring the nose down a little bit. Level it out. Yeah, that should be far enough forward, right? No, a little bit more. It's because we're tipped back a little, or tipped forward a little much. So yeah, that should be good. And it looks like we are locked. So let's see what this looks like. Look at that. We can walk in front of it. It's able to grip in there, and we are high enough up that we shouldn't be doing any damage when we fire our thrusters. Now, this also has the benefit of allowing us to be able to work here under the ship, which works actually really well, actually. So we can still get to the cargo. We can get into the thrusters if we need to do repairs. I may end up doing something in here where we fill some of this in, but I'm kind of liking the wireframe. And one of the other things I did was off cameras, I went ahead and put in the bottom rails here that we have been talking about doing for, what, like 2 weeks now? So those have finally been done. Alright, so that gets us our ship and everything ready. Now, I did queue up a few things over here in the main base. We've got parts, or we should hopefully have parts. We want to go to our assemblers. Let's hide the empties. It looks like things got pushed somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out where all of our parts ended up. And it looks like they actually got pushed into the... yeah, they did. Alright. So we made parts for a large reactor, a refinery, and an assembler. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go get the... let's go plates. We're going to start taking stuff up into orbit so that we can get the beginnings of our base set up. I still want to do the conversion of that thing into a hover vehicle. We do have some of the parts made for it. We're just waiting for the rest of the parts to finish. And what we're going to do is let's go ahead and get you over. Let me go ahead and do a quick cut. We're going to get things moved over here. Yes, I could actually do something like hook this thing up and transfer it in, but in order to do that, I need to move the wheeled vehicle. I guess I could just go ahead and move the wheeled vehicle. Sure, let's do that. We'll go ahead and move this beast. I've had a couple of people asking to see this thing actually move. Oh, gives me an excuse to play with it, right? So, alright, so let's go ahead and go. You're locked. Okay, so. What we're going to do is we're just going to move this thing straight out and away from the base so we don't have to worry about it. We've got everything else already positioned, so I'm not too worried about it. It's really just getting out of the way so we can get the shuttle in here. And it should be far enough. Alright, go ahead and put the parking brakes on. Oh, I thought I saw one of the little airdrops coming in. Okay. It's really surprising just how large the scale of that thing is. I keep forgetting, and it's like people leave comments going, "Holy crap, that thing's massive!" I was like, "Yeah." Thought I had. Did you guys despawn? I guess you despawned. There he goes. Because I thought I had a T600 hanging out over here. At one point, oh well. I guess he decided not to hang around. That's fine. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close that up. We are in. Oh. What the hell? What the hell is going on? That is... We're sealed. We have air in here. What in the... That is just randomly crazy. Okay. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this thing turned on. We want to get you off the ground. We're going to go ahead and... I thought I had connectors set up on here, but apparently not. I must... Oh, you know why? Because I replaced it at one point. Alright, so we're going to switch lock. Let's check to make sure that that connector is set up so that it is... its connection strength is 0. There we go. Alright. Now one of the... Oh, hello. One of the comments that was made was people saying that the ship was kind of odd because it just kind of hangs out there. Unlike some of the other ships that actually have a place to dock. You know, you were saying that you would like to see this thing have its own landing pad, and we will be working on that in the near future. First things first, though, I do want to get this thing docked up. Alright, so let's swing you around. We'll make sure we're not in threat of hitting the behemoth there. That should be pretty close. want to level that off. Why are we drifting downwards? That is... We got some weird things going on in this game. Alright. There we go. We're latched in. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that drift. Maybe I need some more gyros or something. Who knows? Alright. So let's go ahead and inventory. We want our cargo. We're going to hide that, and we're going to look for something that we have in here. So let's go ahead and move these over, and what we'll do here is we'll do reactor components, hide empty, and then what we can do now is basically shift everything over that we need to. So we're just gonna basically take all of this with us. Because, you know, reasons, right? So... Okay, I think... Let's take a little bit of nickel with us. We're going to take some cobalt, just in case we need it. We've got iron. Platinum is building up because the assemblers that are building our thruster components are out of the way. We've got all of our reactors. Okay. Alright, I think that is... most of our stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and land this thing. Yeah, see, it's slowly drifting. Interesting. Alright, so let's get us mostly nose down here so we can get this wonderful shuttle on the ground. Come on. Is there a reason why you don't want to lock now? Yeah, man. Ah. Alright. There are days that this game just drives me up the wall because it does not want to do what it's supposed to do. You know what? It's fine. You can sit there like that. That's fine. We should be able to get out. That's good. Just means I'm gonna have to do a restart on the game at some point in the near future. That's wouldn't be Space Engineers if it worked the right way every time, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. See, that's not holding a seal now for some reason. Okay. Yeah. It's nice to know that, you know, you can actually get things done like this. Oh, you're actually pretty close. What are you looking like? I might relocate those. Alright, now what we're going to do is back this thing back up. Was I on the ground when those spawned? Oh, I put all my ammo away. Okay. That's fine then. Let's go ahead and get this thing parked. What we're going to do is we're going to do a... I think we will go ahead and do a quick cut. I'm going to get the shuttle up into orbit. Get the get this thing continuing to manufacture the parts that we need. Let's Back up here. I should put a camera on this one too, huh? Alright. So yeah, we go ahead and do the cut. We'll get this stuff hooked up, get the shuttle into orbit, and we will we'll be right back. Careful now. And we're back, and as you can see, we are starting to make our ascent into orbit. It's actually working fairly well. Of course, having said that, something's going to blow up at some point, isn't it? Turn the light on here. Right. A hell of a view from this cockpit. Right. So we are going to start heading towards our platinum. Let me actually go bring that back. So asteroid number 8, which is the one that has the iron, silver, platinum, and silicon on it. Yes, I did turn off my inertial dampeners as well. We're going to be heading, like I said, to this beastie. And I want to go ahead. We do need to go ahead and get... Make sure, yes, we are still in ascent. That is good. Turn on our inertial dampeners just so that we can keep going in a straight line, since we are going to be in a gravity well. What we're going to do is the asteroid that has the platinum on it, we're going to build our, basically a launch base, I guess, like a midway station, because it is at the absolute fringe of the gravitational field. So we'll be, if we put an artificial gravity in, it'll basically make up the difference. But eventually we'll have something like that. But I want to have easy access to primary resources. Now we do have asteroid number 7 as well. Let me show you here. We're gonna bring this up, show on the HUD. Keep going, please. Thank you. And asteroid 7 is roughly 2 kilometers away from asteroid 8. And asteroid 7 is important because it has uranium on it. Now, the one thing I haven't found in any serious quantity is ice. I'm hoping that once we get into space and we start working from the space system, we'll be able to start exploring a little bit, get some more ice. That way we have it if we need it, because we're going to need it to breathe eventually. And I mean, worst case scenario, we can make jaunts back down using the small shuttle to get down to the surface of the planet, pick up some ice, and keep coming, basically shuttling that up in smaller quantities, because we don't need to be bringing up, 3 million units of ice. And that's really what the big shuttle would be hauling, would be just ridiculous quantities of material. So let's go ahead and level her off here. Now, I had thought about using asteroid 7, because I think asteroid 7 is actually outside the gravitational field of the planet. But I don't know if I want to do that. I like having the platinum and the iron right there. I guess we could take the small shuttle out and we'll, take a small jaunt from the 2 asteroids and see which one has more iron, because that's going to be the resource we use the most. But having the uranium right there might not be a bad idea. Have I mapped that asteroid? I may not have mapped that asteroid yet. That's what I'll probably end up doing off cameras, just to do a little bit of orbital patrol, check all of the asteroids that we have in the area, see which ones have what resources on them. We've only done a little bit of that. Okay, so we've got about 9 kilometers left to go. It's going to take me a little bit to get into position and find where I want to be, so I'm going to go ahead and do one more quick cut. We'll bring you back once we're in orbit of that place, figure out where we want to go, and where we're going to set up our first block. All right? So yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back. Alright, so we have gotten into orbit. We are basically parked here at the asteroid. I have not docked with the asteroid, mainly because of the fact of the way that we are positioned. We are going to grab some materials once we get out here. Want to make sure all of this is okay. Open that up. There we go. And let's head over here, grab 100 plates. Now, supposedly, that is on plane with the that is aligned to the gravitational plane, is what it says. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab, I don't know, what do you think? Start it there. I should probably turn Bob off while we're doing this, because that's going to eat a bunch of parts. Come here, Bob. How much did I bring with me anyway? I don't remember. It's okay. Let's toggle Bob off for just a second. Not that it matters, because he's already built. Alright, so what we're going to do is we want to get we want to get a place set up where we can get some basic mining in. I want to check this really quick here. That's actually not a insignificant amount of iron. I'm wondering, a bit of silver here. There's more iron over here as well. So what we might end up doing is building just a basically a mining rig that's a giant beam drill on with just, you know, like 4 reactors and a couple of thrusters and maybe like 4 or 5 large cargo containers. Well, that could actually be interesting. Yes. And we wouldn't even use the laser turret, we would just use the laser drill and have it set up so the laser drill is on the flat side, on the widest flat side, and basically just fly over asteroids and slice them up. Oh, that could be interesting. Unfortunately, there's a limit on the number of those things you can actually mount on one grid, but I guess I could use rotors to break the grid. We might be able to have some fun with this. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, because the other Bob is still running. You have a Bob too, I forgot about that. Come here, you. You've got 2 Bobs. No, you're turned off. So if your Bobs are turned off, you are turned on, you're turned. Why are you turned on? You should be turned off. I already turned you off once. Let's try that again. Go. Is that 5? That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on. There we go. Because I want to be able to have this thing sealed. In order to do that, you have to have a complete grid. And that is there. And if I can pull a little magic out of this. Let's see there. That should be... That should be a complete grid right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close all of this off except for a piece on one side. I'm thinking we're going to do... Let's see. Let's do... That would technically be 3, but I want the reactor to be outside of that. So we'll do a reactor here. Basically, the reactor is going to sit maybe even inside. Might put the reactor down here. Ooh, I'm kind of liking that idea. Put the reactor down here, have a bunch of cargo in this area, maybe like, say, 1, 2, 3. We'd be able to get 2 large cargo side by side, and then there would be 1, 2, 3, a second cargo, third cargo. Wow, we'll actually be able to turn this into a right proper midway station. We'll eventually build some areas out off on the side where we'll be able to dock ships. This could be interesting. Okay. This could be very interesting, actually. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and... Let's see. We want you to be a connection. That's right. That was right. So you're going to be a connection there. So we'll have reactor, cargo block, cargo block. No, it's going to be 2 spots here. It's cargo block. Okay. So the 1 cargo block's going to fit in that space. 1 cargo is in that space. We have a hard line. You come out of there. That's 1 cargo block. That's 3 cargo blocks. That gives us 5 so far. So there will be a cargo block here. And oh, I'm out of steel plates. Give me some plates. Thank you. It's not like I don't have the parts. Alright. Alright, so... Yes, I think that's going to work nicely. Did I bring... I don't think I brought any interior plates. I didn't bring a lot of stuff with me. Plate-wise, I did bring plates. Okay. I had more materials with me than I thought. Alright, so let's go ahead and do... We're going to move this stuff out of here. We want our reactor. We want at least 1 large cargo for now. We're going to do refinery. And I want conveyors. Alright, so for the conveyor blocks, we are going to have at least 1. Oh, what? I thought I picked up plates. Did I not pick up the interior plates? I guess not. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 there. And because we're aligned to the gravity of the planet, as well as our artificial gravity generator, we are able to go 1, 2, M block, and block, 1, 2, M block. Okay. And should be 1 more there. Nice. Okay, so that gives us the basis. Gives us a good foundation here. Got a reactor on one side, and that is actually towards the thickest part of the asteroid. which means we're going to have a little bit of natural defense there. We're going to end up with, let's go, you are going to be there, but I do not have steel plates. Ah, alright. So let's get, we're going to try and get the beginnings of the base in place, because I want to show you basically what we're looking at, you know, for what the design is going to be. So you're going to go there. I want to make sure we have that. It's going to go there. We want you attached there. Okay, and then that's going to make sure that our reactor is tied into our cargo system. And we're going to put, we're just going to leave one cargo block there for now. Let's not go too crazy with it yet. I know, that's sounds strange coming from me, I know, but if we go that way and then that way, I think I like the way that's shaping up, because then we can put the upgrade modules for yield on it. That way we don't have to mine quite so much to get as much resource out. And then we'll have a, it should be there. That's where the cargo block would go. Alright, and then you are going to go like so. Okay, so that gives us a refinery, a lot of cargo space. Oh, you know what I can do? I can set this up so that it only allows things like finished goods to push through. And we'll put, oh, if I did that, means I have to set up a filtering loop, and I don't think I want to set a filtering loop up. Because what I was thinking was just have Bob set up on the base, have Bob basically allow things to push through. You put a conveyor sorter in. Well, actually, you put a conveyor cube in with sorters on multiple sides, and one sorter only allows, say, ore. And so the ore pushes to one cargo. On the opposing side, you have it allowing everything but ore. So everything but ore pushes the other way. Then you put another sorter here between the refinery and the cargo block. So what will happen is the refinery only pulls ore from the cargo container that only allows ore to be pushed into it. So as this fills up and you start getting backfill, this will basically be your overflow area. Now the problem that I have with doing that is that we have the reactor on this side. So what I would have to do is move the refinery over here, which is easy enough to do. I mean, we just take it out and swap the blocks around. So if we do that, alright, so that's going to attach there. We're going to grab, actually we don't need any more of that, so let's go ahead and grab a sorter block. Alright, and then we're going to have that sorter set up so it only allows materials to push through, and since this is refining, we'll have it set up so it only allows ingots through here. We set Bob up where we have another sorter block here and a sorter block there. And we go like this, and then we build, you know, it doesn't matter how far apart you have these things, you can do whatever makes sense for your build. We're gonna do this. Alright. And we are going to take this one out for right now, and this one out for right now, because we need to set up, we need to get something with a control panel that we can actually start programming this stuff in. I am going to do, let's go here, because we're going to use Bob to do most of our early mining at least. It's not like it really matters. I mean, hell, we could have just tie Bob directly into that. Whoop. Helps if I think ahead before I start cutting things loose, right? So if we do that, we then have 1, 2, 3, and then we put a sorter block in, or we could put sorter blocks here on either side. That could work too. Okay, let's use you to hold that into place for right this second. I mean, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Because we're going to end up with 2 sorter blocks anyway. Either here directly off of Bob, or we have them directly attached. You know what? We'll just leave it like it is. It's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this one here because this episode has gone a little bit longer than expected. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments about the new build, feel free to throw them down in the section below. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, want to do something nice for a YouTuber, or you know, just want to get kept up to date with new content as it comes out, make sure you subscribe. And if you really want to be overachieving, ring that bell. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a terrific week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Alright, so we still have to go get Bob activated, get all of this welded up. We're going to be here a while. Alright.